place thoroughly, but after all, I said, we've done England pretty well, and all I want now is to get to some quiet spot by the seaside and just relax. That's what I said, wasn't it, Odell? Just relax. I feel I must relax, I said. That's so, isn't it, Odell? Mr. Gardner, from behind his hat, murmured, "Yes, darling." Mrs. Gardner pursued the theme. "And so, when I mentioned it to Mr. Kelso at Cook's, he's arranged all our itinerary for us and been most helpful in every way. I don't really know what we'd have done without him. Well, as I say, when I mentioned it to him, Mr. Kelso said that we couldn't do better than come here. A most picturesque spot, he said, quite out of the world, and at the same time very comfortable and most exclusive in every way. And, of course, Mr. Gardner, he chipped in there and said, well, what about the sanitary arrangements? Because, if you'll believe me, Monsieur Poirot, a sister of Mr. Gardner's went to stay at a guest-house once, oh, very exclusive they said it was, and in the heart of the moors, but would you believe me, nothing but an earth closet. So naturally that made Mr. Gardner suspicious of these out-of-the-world places, didn't it, Odell? Why, yes, darling, said Mr. Gardner. But Mr. Kelso reassured us at once. The sanitation, he said, was absolutely the latest word, and the cooking was excellent, and I'm sure that's so. And what I like about it is, it's intimate, if you know what I mean. Being a small place, we all talk to each other and everybody knows everybody. If there is a fault about the British, it is that they're inclined to be a bit standoffish until they've known you a couple of years. After that, nobody could be nicer. Mr. Kelso said that interesting people came here, and I see he was right. Well, there's you, Monsieur Poirot, and Miss Darnley. Oh, I was just tickled to death when I found out who you were, wasn't I, Odell? You were, darling. "Ha!" said Miss Brewster, breaking in explosively. "What a thrill, eh, Monsieur Poirot?" Hercule Poirot raised his hands in deprecation. But it was no more than a polite gesture. Mrs. Gardner flowed smoothly on. "You see, Monsieur Poirot, I'd heard a lot about you from Cornelia Robeson, who was. Mr. Gardner and I were at Badenhof in May, and of course Cornelia told us all about that business in Egypt when Lynette Ridgway was killed. She said you were wonderful, and I've always been simply crazy to meet you, haven't I, Odell?" "Yes, darling." "And then Miss Darnley, too. I get a lot of my things at Rosemonds, and of course she is Rosemond, isn't she? I think her clothes are ever so clever, such a marvelous line. That dress I had on last night was one of hers. She's just a lovely woman in every way, I think." From beyond Miss Brewster, Major Barry, who had been sitting with protuberant eyes glued to the bathers, grunted out, "Distinguished-looking gal." Mrs. Gardner clacked her needles. "I've just got to confess one thing, Monsieur Poirot. It gave me a kind of a turn meeting you here. Not that I wasn't just thrilled to meet you, because I was, well, Mr. Gardner knows that, but it just came to me that you might be here, well, professionally. You know what I mean? Well, I'm just terribly sensitive, as Mr. Gardner will tell you, and I just couldn't bear it if I was to be mixed up in crime of any kind. You see..." Mr. Gardner cleared his throat. He said, "You see, Monsieur Poirot, Mrs. Gardner is very sensitive." The hands of Hercule Poirot shot into the air. "Ah, but let me assure you, madame, that I am here simply in the same way that you are here yourselves, to enjoy myself, to spend a holiday. I do not think of crime, even." Miss Brewster said again, giving her short, gruff bark, "No bodies on Smuggler's Island." Hercule Poirot said, "Ah, but it is not strictly true." He pointed downwards. "Regard them there, lying in a rows. What are they? They are not men and women. There is nothing personal about them. They are just bodies." Major Barry said appreciatively, "Good-looking fillies, some of them.
Bit on the thin side, perhaps.
Poirot cried, "Oh, yes, but what appeal is there? What mystery? I am old, of the old school. When I was young, one saw barely the ankle, the glimpse of a foamy petticoat. How alluring! The gentle swelling of the calf, a knee, a beribond gutter.
Naughty, naughty, said Major Barry hoarsely.
Much more sensible, the things we wear nowadays, said Miss Brewster. Why, yes, Monsieur Poirot, said Mrs. Gardiner. I do think, you know, that our girls and boys nowadays lead a much more natural, healthy life. They just romp about together, and they... Mrs. Gardiner blushed slightly, for she had a nice mind. They think nothing of it, if you know what I mean. Oh, I do know, said Hercule Poirot. It is deplorable. Deplorable? Squeaked Mrs. Gardiner. To remove all the romance, all the mystery. Today